What's up, Nick Havocaholics? Let's talk about that debate from last night. Wow. I had to wait like over 12 hours to make this video because I had to let my blood pressure come down from watching that. It was just infuriating. I mean, we knew it was going to be rigged. It was going to be, totally slanted in every way possible for Kamala Harris. We already knew that going into it because it's ABC and that's fake news. But wow, I think this exceeded just everybody's wildest imagination on how just biased and one-sided it could possibly be. I mean, this was like crazy, super crazy. I mean, everything from the size of the podiums. Look at the size of the podiums. Hers was smaller to make her look bigger. And when they had the side by sides, it's like you could tell they zoomed up a little more on Kamala to make her look bigger in the picture. In my opinion, she was always a little bit higher. Like her head was always a little bit taller on the side by sides. They tried to make her look bigger. So I mean, they did everything optically they could because she's only like 5'2". She's tiny. When they would show the stage and then side by side, she's like this big, and here's Trump. It was hilarious. Like if she looked like she would come up to his nipple or something, if she stood next to him, hilarious. So they were doing everything they could to visually make her look as good as possible. But I'm not kidding though. She's got to do something about that neck. That whatever this little series of beef curtains are that are hanging right here from her neck that look like, I mean, it looked like a barcode. She had like a barcode right here on the front of her neck when I was watching on my phone. I was like, what is that on her neck? What's that? A barcode for like 666 or something? I mean, they can't do anything about that. They can't like get a potato chip bag clip and like grab up all that skin from behind her neck and like tighten it up, put that bag clip on the back. Something? Nothing? You're just gonna come out there looking like you got beef curtains hanging off the front of your neck. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. But I said in my previous video that Kamala had to show up to the debate and she had to hit a home run. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think she hit that ball about as hard and as far as she could. I don't know if she hit a home run. I wouldn't say she hit a home run at all. I thought she was terrible. I thought she was just terrible. Just nothing but lies. She didn't answer any of the questions. We don't still know anything about her policies other than she wants to give a bunch of free money away to everybody. I mean, we don't know what she wants to do about the border. We don't know what she wants to do about the economy. We don't know what she wants to do about energy. Nothing. She didn't answer any of those questions. All she did was just constantly throw out lies. Lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. And then Trump had to sit there and try and combat all that. So he was like on the defensive the whole night. So I mean, I could see what the game plan was, and I will admit that she did execute the game plan. She did stay disciplined. I mean, everything from the looking over at him the whole time, that was all scripted. Everything from the handshake on, she had been working on. It seemed like for like 2 months. I mean, and there's no one out there that's going to tell me she didn't have the questions ahead of time. Are you kidding? She totally had those questions ahead of time. She knew exactly how to recite her little pre-scripted little things that she had remembered. I mean, she did a great job. She did a great job at memorizing her script. I'm not going to lie. She did good with that. You could tell Trump did not have any script. You could tell he didn't do any kind of preparation specifically for this. He came in, he was just going to wing it. So she did take everybody by surprise a little bit. She did better than expected. Like I said, she didn't hit a home run by any means. I'd say she more landed a bunt and then somehow beat it out to first base before they were able to throw it over there. That in my opinion, that's what happened. Like she got a base hit. She did get a base hit, but it was ugly, but she got on base. And then I feel like the umpires just like accused the pitcher of balking the whole time and then just let her go around the bases and score. And they're like, yeah, but you scored. Like it was so bad. It was so one-sided. The way they framed these questions to Trump. It's like, oh, you said all this crazy stuff. How do what's your response to that? And then he'd have to sit there and defend himself. And then they spin it over to Kamala and be like, yeah, so what are your thoughts on that too? And then they just gave her like 2 minutes to do a little grandstand speech, a little pre-written thing that she had remembered. I mean, it was so terrible. The bias was so terrible. But even with it being 3-on-1, and I'm not saying that to complain like, oh, it was 3-on-1 and that's why Trump lost. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just pointing out the fact that it's a 3-on-1 because everybody's like, oh, if you point out that the moderators were bad, that just means that you lost. I'm not saying he lost. I'm just saying that you have to acknowledge the fact that the moderators were on Kamala's side. They were there to make her look as good as possible, which they did. I mean, like I said, she didn't answer any of the questions. They didn't fact check her on anything. She even went with the bloodbath. He was talking about the automotive industry, and he's saying that if Kamala and the Democrats get in, it's going to kill the automotive industry, and it's going to be a bloodbath as far as the automotive industry. And they're like, no, he says it's going to be a bloodbath. Like people are going to be dying on the streets in a civil war. A total lie. She even busted out the there's very fine people on both sides in the Charlottesville thing. I mean, wow, even Snopes debunked that. Just pitiful. She brings up the 2025 thing. He then clearly says, I don't know what that is. I have nothing to do with that. And she brings it up again later. Did they fact check her on any of that stuff? Of course not. No, they just let her say it. Just let her just spout lies. And then meanwhile, they're fact checking Trump live. It's crazy. Like he brought up that, that these immigrants are eating people's animals and stuff. They're like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. And then like every headline on YouTube for like all, the mainstream media is like, yeah, Trump lies about, immigrants eating animals and stuff. It's like, wow, but that really did happen though. Crazy. And guys, I'm not trying to get conspiratorial or anything. Supposedly Kamala always wears these certain earrings, but they look a heck of a lot like these Novo, what are these? Novo H1 audio earrings that you can get. I'm just saying, look at them. They look pretty similar. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say that was probably the best showing Kamala Harris could have had. She hid the whole time. She didn't answer any of the questions. And she was more polished with her pre-scripted answers that she had remembered. She was better at saying those. Meanwhile, Trump is trying to, wing it and give his answers off the cuff, which I still think he knocked it out of the park. I mean, it's like all people look at is the glitz and the glam instead of the actual words that were spoken. If you listen to the actual words that were spoken, Trump crushed her. I don't even see how I don't even see how people can say that she won, other than she was sitting there with a smile on her face the whole time. Which, guys, I think that was the biggest story of the whole thing. You could watch that thing on mute and tell who the bitch was. The way she's over there smiling and stuff, and it looked ridiculous. I just don't think that's going to resonate with people. It sure didn't resonate with me. It infuriated me. I mean, Trump's over here. They're saying he lost because he got upset. He has a good reason to be upset. The country is going down the shitter. He's upset about it. It's not a joking matter. He's up there. He's mad. He's evoking the emotions that I'm having about the state of the country. I'm mad about it too. And meanwhile, she's over there smirking and laughing, and she's the goddamn one responsible for it. I don't know how any American can look at that situation and side with her. She's part of the problem, and she's sitting there laughing about it while Trump's getting upset and mad. Like the rest of America is. I'm mad. I'm mad at the prices of stuff. It's ridiculous. I haven't been to Qdoba in years because their burritos are like $13 now. It's crazy. So, I mean, dude, for her to sit up there and laugh, I don't know. I think Trump does need to take those clips, though, and make some ads out of them. And just like look at her face, like zoom up on her cackling face, man. And this whole thing where she's rests her chin on her hand like that. What a bit. How can anybody look at that and be like, oh, yeah, I love that. I love that about her. Just ridiculous. And all the subjects that they brought up. I mean, the election denying, J6, climate change. What else? Just all the abortion, of course. And then they lie about it. That guy from West Virginia, he did say that about unborn baby or, babies that have been born. They just leave it on the table and, well, yeah. But the way that they phrase it, they're like, no, we don't kill babies. We don't kill them. Yeah, you don't kill them. You just sit there and let them die. What's the difference? Anyways, I don't want to get into that. That's not really, man, I'm just saying they just lie. They twist everything around. It was ridiculous. And like I'm saying, even with all that, I still think Trump came out looking good. I mean, what else can he say? What else can the guy possibly say? I don't get it. I don't get it. And boy, Kamala, boy, she was hopped up on something too. Man, she came out, I'm gonna shake his hand, in her mouth. She's like, it's like, wow, your mouth is pretty dry. What drugs have you been taking all day? What? Something? Because your mouth is super duper dry. Anyway. Oh man, but those nonverbals though were so off-putting. So off-putting. People talk about Trump being, not being presidential. How is acting like that being presidential? She's acting like a seventh grader or something. Like a little, just the facial expressions, the smiling. It's like that's a lunatic over there. That's a serious lunatic that can't control her facial expressions. I'm not gonna lie though, guys. If she could have ran through her script like that, however, stayed looking forward at the camera and just kept a normal looking face the whole time, that would have been scary. That would have been scary. I think she kind of shot herself in the foot with all the stupid facials she was making over there. Facials. I'm sure she's no stranger to those. Boy, and especially after the mainstream media, they've been glazing her pretty good too, if you know what I mean. Wow. I think this is going to hurt her. I know the mainstream media wants to walk around and think that, that was the greatest thing ever. However, I don't think the bulk of the American people are going to buy it. I don't think they're going to buy it at all, because guess what, guys? Like I said, I was pretty fired up. I got maybe like 4 hours sleep because I was up all night. I couldn't go to sleep. And I was just searching different videos because everybody was doing live streams and everybody was doing reactions and stuff like that. And I was just going through as many different videos as I could. I was going through, black content creators that I've never even heard of before. I'm talking about guys with big, pictures of fists behind them and stuff. A bunch of people I had no idea about their streams. I went to Forbes, I went to CBS, and I'm not kidding, guys. For 3.5 hours, I looked at videos and I looked at comments, and I could probably count on one hand the amount of positive comments that I saw for Kamala. Maybe on one hand. It was 99.999% pro-Trump everywhere I went, even on Forbes. Even when I went to the mainstream media articles, it was all Trump. I was like, wow. So, and something weird too. Like I was going to those like black content creator channels, looking at theirs, and they seemed like they were 100% Trump, 100% Trump. And then I go to like the Steven Crowder live stream, and it was like that was all the black pilled people. All the black pilled people were like under Steven Crowder's thing. Wow, that's where like all of them were. Oh my God, Trump did so terrible. He did terrible. Yeah, Kamala beat him. And oh God, just like, what? Like, what? I don't know what Steven Crowder was talking about on his live stream. He was probably talking over the thing the whole time, because anytime you watch one of his commentaries or his reactions, dude, it's not about you, Steven. Okay. I know you think you're the funniest person ever. All right. But you're not at all. Dave Landau was way funnier. But anyways, your show went downhill as soon as you got rid of him. However, that's beside the point. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, his whole chat and stuff and all his comments were just like, he had the most anti-Trump people in there, which was surprising to me. So I'm not really sure what he was talking about on his live stream, but man, his people seem to think that they got their asses whipped or something. And I don't see it at all. And especially the fact that Kamala is now coming out and demanding or asking for a second debate. You don't do that if you win. You don't come out and ask for a rematch if you just mop the floor with the other person. Why would you do that? You take your win, you drop your mic, and you walk off. It's the person that loses. It's like best 2 out of 3, and then you lose. And you're like, okay, wait, no, best 3 out of 5. Nope. Oh, I lost again. Best 4 out of 7. You just want to keep going because you keep losing. I feel like that's what she's doing. And the mainstream media, they can glaze Kamala all they want. They can circle the wagons, act like she won the debate, and blah blah blah. But there's no denying Trump got the best zingers in, without a doubt. The top 3 for sure. But the best one, without question, was the, excuse me, I'm talking. Excuse me, I'm talking. Dude, when he said that, I LOL'd for real. I was laughing out loud. It was so great. You could tell too. As soon as she said, she was like, you took my line. Boy, that just lit her. You could just see the internal devastation when he said that to her. And it's so funny too, because I was just now watching Timcast before I went to record this video, and they had their little live reaction to when he said that. Listen to this reaction. This was also my reaction.
Was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute, I'm talking now.
Oh! That's the one-liner everybody's going to remember. I'm sorry. You can say she won the debate and all that kind of stuff, but that is what people are going to remember. That right there. That was epic. But we'll see what happens with the second debate. I know Kamala, like I said, has already thrown out the challenge. Trump's like, I don't know. We'll think about it. So I'm like 50-50 if there's going to be a second debate. I don't know if Trump should really do it. I don't know if he has anything to gain by going into the den of snakes on these leftist media platforms. I don't know. I mean, unless she wants to do it on like Fox or something like that, where Trump can get a fair shake, I don't think he should do it. What does he have to gain? Everything is stacked against him on these things. It's ridiculous, but that's all I've got for this video, guys. And again, these are just my opinions, but I could be right.